Welcome to Prajavahini. This is Archana Swamy. Introducing my today's guest. He is an engineer from Ramaya Institute of Technology in 1971, who chose to be a pioneer in garment machine industry in India in 1980. With his immense experience in business, travel, education, and in life, he translates all into a conversation which I feel enriched to have face to face. He is an individual committed to his dream and empowering the underprivileged by training and setting up institutions across India, aiming in seeing our nation as the global supplier for all kinds of garments in near future. The passion and the grit to continue to work at this phase of life is truly inspiring. Meeting people who not only have an understanding about the ground reality, but the dedication to take it forward to have a better living standards for everyone around is a treasure in itself. Introducing Mr. Madhu Kapoor, Director of ALT College. Firstly, congratulations on setting up an empire of educational institutions. And today you stand with such rich experience. How do you sum up your journey?
Well, I would say this is only because of God's grace. Secondly, of course, the support that you need and you have from your family, which I think is most important. We came from a very nice family. My father was in the Royal Air Force, and that's the reason why he was in Bangalore since 1941. And we were born and bred in this beautiful state of Karnataka. And I did my engineering here. And I was very fortunate to be bestowed with a scholarship to go to Japan to study there in the year 1971, which I think has been the turning point of your basic thought flow. Sure. That country is simply amazing. There's so many things that you can learn from there, imbibe from there, and finally come to one beautiful conclusion: how to live as a cultured human being. When I'm talking about culture, I'm not talking about only home culture. I'm more focusing on industrial culture. And I saw many things in Japan. You know, the way you're treated as an excellent human being. And whether you are at the bottommost portion of the ladder or whether you are in the top management, human standards are the same. This is something which I have carried with me for the last 52 years, and I propose to carry it for the next couple of years that I hope I'll be in this work. So everything that you do there is team-oriented. Even basic things like washrooms. There's only one washroom there. One washroom for the girls, one for the boys. That's it. Irrespective of which ladder position you're holding. So what happens if you look at that environmental story in the workplace, it is so perfect.
And these you're speaking about in 1970s.
72.
So you have been selected to study there for a year. And in that management program of 1 year, what is the summary that you can give that you have learned in that one particular year?
Well, I think what's most important is that the man who made that organization, let's take an example, Toyota. Maybe the present generation doesn't even know him, but he made that work culture so strong, so perfect, that that organization is growing by itself. And everyone who is participating in that organization feels, I am the co-owner of that company.
Wow.
I'm not an employee, I'm a co-owner of that company. And that's not one. Look at many, many other companies in Japan, Mitsubishi, Seito, Itoman, they're all the same. The person who started did his job and went away from this world. But the organization is growing and become so strong that it is lending its strength to even different smaller organizations. For example, in the Toyota company, many a time I saw, it is in Nagoya, the barbers of Nagoya coming for a conference in Toyota company. I asked them, what have they got to do here? I said, no, we are the top company in this place. We have to lend. It's our duty to lend our strength to our society. So the industrial culture in Japan is completely different.
Do you think you being there for that 1 year has changed your belief system and the patterns or their approach towards life has changed?
Yes, it has changed my lifestyle completely. There are, I will not be able to tell you that I have adopted 100% of what they have done. It's not so easy, but a lot of things in my organization, small little organization, we have adopted. And everybody wonders from where this came.
So when you came back, you brought those with you and implemented?
Implemented until today is going on.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So what was your thought as you came from Japan? You would have thought about machinery as you have done your engineering
Yes.
and mechanical. So what made you choose this textile and making this textile machinery as your core business?
There was a division of textile machinery, garment machinery in Toyota.
Oh, okay.
So I was very fortunate to get a small little exposure in that.
Okay.
And I was so young, but I thought that this business, I'm talking about the garmenting business. Everybody thinks in India that garmenting is all about shirts and trousers. No, it's not only clothing, it's also knitwear, it's also shoes, it's also boots, it's also tarpaulin, it's also upholstery.
Okay.
It is also parachute, it is also bulletproof jacket, and the list goes on. So at that time I was thinking that this may be the most ideal business for an overpopulated country like India.
Spot on. You knew it.
So I came. When I came here, I discovered that the garment industry here was almost nothing.
And this was in 1970?
72.
72.
And I saw that in Calcutta was a big jute center,
Okay.
and they were making these jute bags for packaging. I got myself involved in that, started getting machines for that, and slowly it grew. But as the next 4-5 years passed by, the garment industry slowly started in India.
Okay.
And then from one product to another, another product to another. Today, India is a very strong producer of clothing.
So you being one of the pioneers of the textile machinery industry, what were the few challenges you had when initially you started?
It was very difficult to import machines. India's foreign exchange position also was very small, reasonable, that kind of story. So those were the challenges. It was difficult. But there was behind this another challenge. And the challenge was that when I delivered beautiful machines, I soon found out that we didn't have a driver for that, to run those machines. We found another thing, there wasn't a person there to maintain those machines. So we designated a small little area, 10 by 10 in our office, and we told all our customers, when you buy my machine, the condition is that you'll have to send your operator, we will give him some basic training, you'll have to send your technician, we'll give him some basic education on maintenance.
Because at that point of time, selling the machine was not your only business. You need to help them how to maintain it also.
Yes, and the thought flow was there. We wanted that customer who bought those machines to be successful. Because if he was successful, he would grow. And if he will grow, he will generate more employment. And that was the need of India then and the need of India now. From there, this concept of training started.
Because you wanted your machinery to be maintained well.
Well.
And from there, other branch of training.
Yes, training. And to make the records clear, I already had this training concept deep in my heart when I left Japan. Because in Japan, as you know, their formula is whatever be the investment in any industry, it is divided into 3 equal parts. The first part for the environment. The Japanese concept of environment is that plant, the factory or whatever you call it, must have minimum lumens of light per human being, because it's only then that that particular person can work at his highest efficiency. Second, they need minimum cubic meters of air per human being. So the entire plant, the factory is designed on these two aspects. The second one-third was the equipment. In Japan, nobody will buy an obsolete machine, or we call it yesterday machine. What happened yesterday? No. Because their concept is, in this case, if I buy an old machine or a machine which is obsolete, I can never compete in the market.
Wow.
They're aiming at the world market. I need to buy the latest. So within the budget, they want to buy the latest machine. The third one-third, of course, my sensei, my teacher, he asked all the students, I was one of them, what is our thought flow? Unfortunately, 44 of us, not one could get it. And finally answered, the third one-third was training. And how he taught us, not by high funda management, it was by simple formula, by asking us, who is the most important person in a family, husband or wife? Affirmed that and said, it's only when both of them are efficient and compatible does it make a good family. And translated the same thing back to our environment. I said the best machine with the best trained person, best driver, they call it there, produce the best product. So I carried this small little concept of training at my young age from Japan. So this, when I started this small little 10 by 10 training for my machine operator and engineer, it slowly by itself grew to the next level. Somebody wanted to train his pattern maker, somebody wanted to train his CAD, somebody wanted to train his line supervisor. And then in 1991, we opened our first training college, full-fledged first training college in Bangalore.
So until then, how did you manage training each and different sectors, and as you said, different people needed different kind of training.
Yeah.
So how could you manage all of it before you set up the training college?
I went step by step, because neither I had the facility, nor I had the finances, because the training center, as you know, is not a business. You have to invest for the benefit of society. That's what I learned in Japan. Training center is not a commercial proposition. It's a proposition which is essential for your society. So step by step, it took me many years, right, from 82 to 91. It took me many years. And finally, we established our first center.
So for your business to run, this needs to go in hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
And it's like, it
is very satisfying. Just to give you an idea, since 1982 when we started till last year, December, we have trained 512,000 students.
Whoa, that's humongous.
There is no noble city in India or the world where our student is not working.
Wow.
For example, if you take a system and tell me into a place like, for example, Milan, I can tell you which of our students working there. Frankfurt, students working. Tokyo, India, I can tell you everywhere. And they are not at lower positions. They are competing. Why they are competing so well? Because they are all ground floor people. They have got this hand knowledge. They have got this training, vocational training. They are not dependent on anyone for anything. If you look at their backgrounds, they come from very, very menial backgrounds. And that's also our objective also, to take these kind of people from...
So you train them in core skills or in the soft skills? Or both the skills are imbibed into the course and you are training them?
Basically, to be very frank with you, a soft skill training, for example, communication, computers and all this, may be a very small part. The major part is your core skill on the shop floor. And I don't know for what reason, in India, maybe all over the world, people have left that area. They've gone into training for management, for sales, and for finance and that kind of story. They've forgotten one very important aspect in that. If we don't have people trained on the shop floor, there'll be no production. There'll be no product. So that is the key point. And now we have 5 training colleges in India. After 40 years in training, We have another thought flow process.
Let's talk about how you grew from one. Like setting up the initial center would definitely be much more challenging than expanding it.
Yes.
So how did it grow from one to today having 5 colleges of yours?
There are some small stories. When I started, when I went to, one of the days I went to Ahmedabad for my business, machine business. A friend of mine told me there's one big meeting going on. It's known as Vibrant Gujarat.
Okay.
Let's go and attend it. I said, no,
And this was in which year, sir?
This was in 2003. He took me there. And what do I see on top? Mr. Narendra Modi there. With him was Tata, JRD Tata. With him was Ambani, and with him so on. So all the top guys were sitting on top. Suddenly somebody comes from the stage and tells me, Narendra Modi wants to meet you. I said, no, I think you're mistaken. I am from outside, I am from Bangalore, I just came to see. He said, no. He asked me to call you. And I went, he asked me, "Aap kahan se, where did you come from?" I said, from Bangalore. What do you do there? I said, my business is, I'm supplying machinery to the garment industry, knitwear industry, leather industry, etc. Very good. He said, very good. You're doing anything else also? I said, I'm doing a little bit of training also. He said, that is as my responsibility for my nation, for my state. I'm taking people from the backward areas, training them. I was surprised 3 days later, the chief secretary was in Bangalore.
Wow.
And he said, Mr. Narendra Modi has sent me. I want to see your training center. Came here.
So he typically came to Bangalore to just see our
center?
Center?
That's it. He saw our center, everything. He said, sir, I sent a ticket for you.
Okay.
Air ticket. Thursday. And Friday is the 11 o'clock meeting with the RLC. So he tells, our chief secretary came there, he has seen it. I want the same thing to be implemented here. What do you need? I said, I got nothing here. Kitna jameen chahiye? I said, 1 acre. He asked the guy, where can you give him? 1 acre. What are your options? Finance, how much money you need? I said, I need about 2 CR to put in all the machinery, make the building. Ask the finance guy, give it to him.
Oh.
Right?
So it was like given on a platter to
On
you.
a platter, or a cup of tea. And at the end of the tea, and at the end of the discussion, he told me, on November 23rd, I'll come for inauguration.
Whoa.
Fixed. And this is the nodal officer, Mr. So-and-so. He will coordinate with you. He'll do everything for you. You have to do nothing here.
And everything was actually done by them?
Actually, he was actually, at one point of time, I felt as if he's the nodal officer.
Is the in charge and the person who owns the place then?
Why this plan? I want to get plan sanction. What do you want? This one, he got everything done. 23rd was the inauguration. ALT College, Ahmedabad, 40,000 people attended the inauguration.
Goodness.
It's
It's
simply
like a
amazing.
record number just for an inauguration.
Just inauguration. Amazing. The story was simply amazing. And when the inauguration finished and everything was over, and he said, now it's time for you to go to Surat.
Oh, Narendra Modi ji only told this. Wow. And that's how you expanded all the 5 centers of ALT?
This Surat. Then, of course, I was called by UP, CM of UP,
Okay.
because this information spreads very fast.
Correct.
I told you, it spreads very fast. And I made a center in Kanpur, and I made a center in, Ghaziabad, in Tronika city, that way. Now, to come to the point, after that, after so many years of being in this business, we want to take a step ahead. And this is something which has been in my heart from the time when I was a young kid training in Japan. But really, I didn't have any guts to do it, not even to talk to my family.
Okay.
Because I knew if I talk about this matter, they'll think this guy is crazy. Neither, of course, I had the finance. I wanted to make in India the first center of excellence
Wow.
for the apparel industry in the world.
For the complete apparel industry, you want to make the center of excellence.
Center of excellence.
And this is your dream.
Dream.
And where do you want to make it, sir?
I've already selected our training center, which is in Ghaziabad. I am converting that into a center of excellence.
Wow.
I'm modernizing that. It's already
So what
underway.
can we expect from your Center of Excellence?
So that Center of Excellence, first one, it's experimental. And basically I've divided it into three parts. The first part is training. Training which I'm already doing for 40 years. I want to continue that and do it better.
Okay.
The second part is divided into two parts. The first part is support for the MSME industry.
Oh, wonderful.
There's a dukan, small little shop. The guy is having 2 machines. There's a wooden shed. The entire family is depending on that.
True.
The children also are going to school after they're coming and working there. But they find it very difficult to survive. Why they find it difficult to survive? They don't have everything with them. The Center of Excellence will provide them all that strength. They will come in the morning with their fabric.
Okay.
They will do the pattern in the Center of Excellence. They will cut the pattern in the Center of Excellence, take their cut components to their workplace.
Wow. So that
They will finish their stitching or whatever it is, come back in the evening, do their buttonhole, button stitcher, cleaning, finishing, packing, and produce a product that can compete with Raymond's.
Wow.
That place. There are thousands, in my opinion, around 28,000 MSMEs today, which are struggling to survive.
And this is great initiative that can support a lot of families.
A lot of families.
Wow.
In my opinion, around 300,000 people would get livelihood from Center of Excellence only from MSME support.
So do you think government adding some funds to you or supporting you will help your project to go forward smoothly? Or
Certainly. Certainly. And the funds are also there. Central funds are also there. But the government does not know, let's say, government does not know how this will happen.
Okay.
So I decided that I will struggle and I will make the Center of Excellence with or without government support.
And still it will be shown in the limelight. Like when the work is happening.
Once it happens, just to give you an idea, to give you a small idea, the day the Center of Excellence is functioning, the Gujarat Chief Minister wants to visit and have the Center of Excellence implemented in ALT Training College in Ahmedabad and in Surat.
Wow. Which states, according to you, are like opening their arms and inviting you to
Everyone.
set up there?
Everyone.
How is that?
If I give you an example of my recent meeting with Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, CM of Maharashtra, he said the day your center is up and running, right? Just invite me. I want to have a look at it. And what do you need in Maharashtra? I said I have nothing in Maharashtra. He said I'll give you a government building.
Please make it one.
I'll give you money.
I think this is not only for a garment or for one particular industry.
Yeah.
It just enhances the lifestyle of the people who are under the poverty line.
So I'm trying to tell you.
Somewhere.
I'll come to this. So the second half, is the training institutions. Let's take ITI. UP has 188 ITIs. But when you look at the result, what they're producing in the end, it is pathetic.
That's true.
So what are we telling them? We're telling the government, don't disturb them, because that is going on for years together.
Yeah.
But what we suggested is, let them do 75% of what they're doing. The balance 25%, the last 25%, give it to us. We will put them through an intensive training program.
Do you have that enough faculty to train those many ITIs?
Yeah, sure, certainly. No, we are not training ITIs. We are taking the trainees from the ITIs.
Okay. Okay.
The trainees from each ITI, they will come and spend minimum 3 months with our center.
Ah.
The environment that we are creating over there in this Center of Excellence for Kind Information is a high flow, high efficient industrial environment. For example, there's hardly any classroom there.
Okay.
There's no classroom there. Why do you need a classroom?
So how are you going to
You're
teach
talking
them?
about, yes, you're talking about inspection, right? That's the first product, right? When all your fabric, your elastic, your thread, all raw materials are coming for inspection. There's an inspection happening there. Be part of it. Spend a week. work there. You will learn there.
So you're
Right?
giving them the practical knowledge.
Practical
of that.
knowledge. They have to work with their own hands. And for your information, every day that trainee's video is his activity is being videographed and will be sent to his parent or will be sent to his institution from whichever factory is coming or wherever he's coming from. After he finishes that, he goes and sees the CAD room. First he's doing pattern by hand. Then he learns how to apply it on the CAD, grade it, and get a very efficient marker so that he can get maximum saving on his cutting. Right? Big factories are struggling to install one CAD. We have 38 CADs there. That is what is known as Center of Excellence.
When you speak about excellence, it's already there, existing.
Then, after he finishes that, he goes to laying the fabric. Auto laying. Auto laying. He programs. My marker is 7.4 meters. Put 7.4 meters.
Okay.
Length. Right? He's calculated, I want 21 layers. Well, that's my production. Puts 21 layers. And he's moving with the equipment, it automatically lays. And the moment he finishes 21, it stops. Got a very efficient laying of fabric with zero defect, with zero waste. From there, it goes to auto cutter. Right? For example, your component jacket, for example, your jacket has 45 parts. You already put in the CAD. Switches on, watches all the 45 parts being cut so beautifully. Accuracy of perfect shape and accuracy of 1 millimeter. Then from there he goes to sewing lines. First line making shirts. Second line making trousers. Third line making high fashion ladies garment. Fourth line making knit. Polo shirt, t-shirt. Fifth line making undergarments. Sixth line making heavy duty garment like jackets, bulletproof jackets and that kind of a story making.
Oh.
He learns how to operate each and every machine. He learns how to control quality. He learns how to supervise production. Finishes that, goes to the finishing section.
So every trainee goes through this process?
Yes, everybody has to go to this process. Right?
Do they also learn about how to fix the machine if there's any malfunction in it?
Of course. There are a lot of other, auxiliary machines. For example, embroidery. You have to go and learn about embroidery. For example, laser cutting. You have to learn. Maintenance. A lot of other story. Attachment, development of attachment. Right? How to match needle and thread. There are many, many aspects that are involved in this. And the best way that he will learn is, or she will learn, is they'll be working there. They'll be practically employing their own hands, legs and head there and learning. This is the system which I brought, which I had in my heart. I learned in Japan. I'm going to implement it now.
I want to ask you one more thing. When we have so much of human force here, why is everything on autopilot? Why are we not using human efficiency in bringing the product out? Why is it always the reliability more on the machine? Just because the productivity is more?
Quality. Key point today is quality. Example, I give you a small example to answer your question. He's making the pattern by hand. He's cutting by SSL.
The accuracy.
Accuracy is gone, shape is gone. So you go, right? You wore a lovely garment, trial room, you liked it, right? Saw the size M. Then 1M which you wore, seems okay. The second M, very loose. The third M, so tight that you can't even get to it. But it says M. What's the meaning of this? So you have to understand one thing, one very important thing we have to understand, that what Japan preaches is there are two aspects of manufacture. One, making components. The car guy makes the wheel, bonnet, etc. to make the component with very high accuracy. Second, to assemble the component on an assembly line and make a beautiful product efficiently. So the way he's doing, what he taught me, my teacher, Sensen, my finished product is a car. Your finished product is a shirt. His finished product is
something you have to be stuck with.
Yes.
So why did you never think about making the raw materials also in our country only than exporting the raw material and making the machinery here? Because as much as you want to project as everything made in India, you still are, I mean, not just you, like the industry on a whole is just in getting the raw materials from somewhere else and making the machinery here. Why is it so?
Well, it's like this. You need to be commercially intelligent. You don't have to be emotional. I put it in a better form, you don't have to be romantic. Because if you're emotional and romantic in business, you will certainly lose. I gave you that beautiful example of Mitsubishi, very strong company, Japanese company. They made a joint venture with Alvin, very strong Indian company, right? But they did not do their homework about what are the volumes involved in India. What are the efficiency levels that they have to achieve to sustain themselves in India? And finally, the product which they manufactured was more expensive than an imported product, duty paid, taxes paid, everything. So what happened? That one wrong decision took the whole company down. So you need to focus on your strength. What is our strength in this country? Our strength in this country is, I'm talking about garment industry. We have the raw material. We have the space. We have the people. And we have a world market ahead of us. Everybody wants to wear a garment anywhere in the world. And the reason why we are not so strong in this industry, we don't have trained drivers who the normal person doesn't know the meaning of efficiency. He doesn't know. Just to give you an idea, the China operator's wage is 3 times India's wage. He gets 3 times what Indian operator gets. But the cost of the garment is lower than Indian.
So you
Why?
would rather import it?
Why? Why is it lower than India? Because your efficiency is so low. Just to tell you, regarding this CAD system we're talking to you, we are going to teach student how to get an efficiency, it is marked there in his computer, up to 93%. If you don't get it, don't go to the cutting room. Because then you're cutting precious fabric for which you are paid. You're just cutting it, throwing it in the dustbin. Finally, what happens? The garment you thought you made a Rolls Royce, it doesn't sell.
So in what way do you think the efficiency and accuracy can be improved?
Training. Equipment, because today, if there is, I can assure you one thing, in our industry, everybody wants to get the most modern machine.
But not investing in the training.
But they don't invest in training. They don't understand that they need good drivers to run that equipment efficiently. That's the problem. One of the biggest companies in the country, they decided that since we are going in big strides we are taking, we will send one team, one brand, this team to Germany for 15 days to see their factory out running. Another team will send to America, another team will send to China, another 6, 7 teams. When they came back, they were so enthused. The management thought they'll come back with a lot of ideas. When they had a beautiful meeting there was only one voice from the entire team who came back. They said, "Sir, wahan ho sakta hai.
Yahan nahi ho sakta."
Yahan nahi ho sakta." This center of excellence will solve these problems. This center of excellence will show to every Indian that it is happening in India with Indian material, with Indian people. So if it's happening here, why can't it happen with you? And also gives you solutions. What solutions? If your equipment is not proper, please improvise it, get better equipment. 2, if you feel that you don't have that basic training, come here and get yourself trained. So
But people are also investing in training, but to what extent is the quality of the training helping the industry?
That's what I'm saying. In one word I can tell you, the training has to be relevant. Training doesn't have to be in a certificate. ITA is also, all the ITA is issuing a certificate. But can that human being, that boy or girl, get into the garment industry tomorrow, walk into the industry and say, I can do this?
The skill is what you're talking about.
Yes. Again, going back to Japan, I visited the training centers. The concept of training in Japan is the training center must be at least minimum 5 to 6 years ahead of the best plant in the country. Understand that? Look at here. वो तो training करता है. So you buy him old, obsolete, broken, second-hand machines. He is training. No.
And for training, it's always taken as a second-hand machine,
Yes.
not on the first new
Yeah.
machine.
So you'll never learn. You'll never understand this word of known as efficiency. You will never understand. See, the other side. For example, this ALT Center of Excellence. When they get training on relevant technology higher than the industry, wherever they will go, they'll be grabbed by the industry.
That's true.
They'll be grabbed by the industry. They are priceless human beings. They are the diamonds of the industry.
I think here the worry would be like, if I train this particular person, they will train under us, but they will go somewhere else for the job.
Yes.
So in what way that has not influenced your mindset, and how
I think it's a question of demand supply. And I also think that it's the question of your service to your nation. For example, if you train 100, let's take an example. If you train 100 people, right, and 30 left you, where did they go? They went to the industry. So that is your service to your nation.
So it's the
And
overall the industry is growing.
One industry is growing, and if the industry is growing, you're also growing.
Don't look at it as competition is what you meant.
There's no competition. I mean, you'll laugh if I tell you that story. And Narendra Modi also asked me this story when I went to Ahmedabad during the inauguration. What's our market share really, this industry? I said, we are about to touch 4%. Who's our competitor? I said, China. How much? 68%. What you're talking about competition? Where is the competition? But for me, for a guy like me who come back for training in Japan, I'm thinking, I feel so proud, I feel so good. Why? I feel China from 68 to 69 is impossible. But India from 4 to 8, possible. 8 to 12, possible. 12 to 16, possible. So you energize yourself and move in that direction where you can make your country strong, where you can make your industry strong.
So what are the suggestions you want to give to young entrepreneurs and somebody who wants to get into your business?
Second level, I told you, right? In the second level is getting all the institutions, ITI, you have a 4-year course.
Okay.
Last 6 months, give it to us. We will make them thoroughbreds, give them placement in the industry. Idea is to give placement. And you can only give placement provided they have performed at those levels. Level 3, the last level, you want to start a EDP course. Entrepreneurial Development Program, 1-year intensive course. For whom? For budding entrepreneurs. From where I got this idea? Of course, I'm in this industry now for 52 years. Many a time I visit my customers. Customer introduces me. Meet my daughter, he just passed. Meet my son, he just finished. What are they doing there? Sitting in dad's cabin? Telephone. They don't have the guts to go to the shop floor to find out what's going on. So if this industry wants to survive, we have to nurture and make new entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs. So we have this 1-year intensive course. That's level 3, where that particular student, that boy or girl, will come from start, work step by step by step by step, and by the time he finishes in 1 year, he'll be a thoroughbred entrepreneur. He can run any garment or knitwear or shoe or boot, any industry can run. He'll be respected and loved by his team. Why? Because
so
he knows
you're not
everything.
asking them to come by hierarchy, but train into the process and become sharpened and then take over the position of managing an industry.
Absolutely. Step by step. So that's the thing. So Center of Excellence is, I think, a challenge. It's really a challenge. Many people are telling me, why are you doing all this at this age of yours?
You have a lot of experience, you want to translate, I understand, but at this pace in your life, don't you think you want to relax and take it light and easy?
Yes.
But what is inspiring you to
No,
move
I am
on?
relaxing.
Okay.
I am relaxing, my dear, and my best relaxation is to be in my industry.
Wow.
I feel so happy to be in my industry. I feel so happy to see.
This energizes you.
Yeah, and I feel so happy to see people who came from the street, literally from the street, knowing nothing, today have reached the top. In this 512,000, those youngsters have inspired me. I give you 2 beautiful examples. One is our MS Dhoni. MS Dhoni has started his brand 7, number 7, exports sportswear to 44 countries. All kind of sportswear, hockey, cricket, you name it, everything, golf, sportswear. The CEO of that enterprise is a student of our college with a very menial background. He's a CEO. It's a crore rupee salary. Whenever I go there, he comes to drop me back in his Mercedes-Benz car. Second is our great friend Salman Khan, being human. The president of being human is a student of our college, already. Also comes from a very menial background. So this is my relaxation. It is my passion. And I'm convinced that in a very short while, if my Center of Excellence gives support to so many students, organizations, etc., companies, etc., India can become what Narendra Modi wants from me. Why India cannot become the clothier of the world? That is one question that is all the time occupying my attention. There's no logical answer to that because we have everything. We don't have space, or we don't have people, or we don't have raw material. I can understand. We have everything. Then why are we not the clothier of the world? We're missing only that one word, efficiency.
That's so true.
And if through this kind of medium of Center of Excellence, we can inculcate this efficiency in every human being, in every team, every factory, India will go places. It's not always that commercial application that is very important. It is that one conviction in your heart that I belong to this nation. I have to contribute something to this nation.
So you are imbibing that.
Every student, they are all doing it. They are all doing it, my dear. And I tell you, my spiritual master told me one beautiful thing which I'll never forget. He said the greatest gift and the greatest happiness for a teacher is to see your own student, while you're still living, surpass you.
Oh, that's a beautiful statement.
Surpass you. In front of your own eyes. I see so many of my students, hundreds.
Blooming everywhere and surpassing.
Everywhere. In fact, just a month ago I was in Frankfurt. From behind, someone, sir. Then comes running. I said, yes, my dear. Yes, sir, I'm 96 batch, sir. He took me to his factory, Nike, in Frankfurt. He is the CPM there, Chief Production Manager of Nike. I had an opportunity to meet his MD. I asked his MD, why do you need to employ him? He's in Germany. You can't get people in Germany? Sir, he says it's different. He's a diamond in our factory. I was so pleased to hear that. He said he doesn't know which is Friday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, nothing. He's so involved in his work. So that work culture which I imbibed from Japan, that work culture slowly moving into everywhere. And these people young people are doing so well in their lives.
I think it comes from you also, right? So maybe from your parental influence and your cultural influence and your educational influence, be it Swantex, which is your core business, and ALT trainings, which is something you want to give back, and some service like Ansha Kendra School. So every aspect of your business or your trainings or something you're giving back is truly interconnected. So what is the purpose behind this?
I feel every human being needs the basic amenities in a life, right? You'll agree with that. You need to have a good family. You need to have a nice home, nice car, phone. These are basic amenities you need. But my question is, what after that? My question is, in life, what after that? This, my spiritual master has given me this beautiful thing. Just think about it. You need to have 2 families. You need 2 homes. You need 2 cars. No. You need to share. And the best thing that you can share is your knowledge and experience. That cannot be, assessed in terms of money. Because if everybody gets out of this secretive story, I don't want to show my factory and I did like this, what for? There's such a huge market. And if you got your slice of the cake, you're happy. If somebody got two slices, it's okay. No problem. So I think the joy and happiness is more important. The Anand Shiksha Kendra you mentioned, when we came here in 1988, this was a jungle here. Today, Anand Shiksha Kendra School, which belongs to our ashram, Anand Shiksha Kendra today is rated as the top CBSE school in the nation.
So the seeds are sowed in the right place for them to bloom.
That's it.
Wonderful.
So I feel that this nation can be the most powerful nation in the globe. And we are so fortunate to have such a dynamic leader as Narendra Modi. In my opinion, he's not a human being. He's a Mahapurush. I always call him Mahapurush.
Do you think that same influence is reflecting in our state, and the Chief Minister or the people who are also working equally to what his vision is?
I think this state is really blessed now. Karnataka is really blessed to have such a CM like Mr. Bommai, who is a qualified engineer.
Oh, yeah.
You have to think that. So his thought process is very crystal clear. And you will see in a very short while.
Yeah.
I always pray that he will continue his beautiful journey, and you'll see in a very short while, Bangalore being one of the best states of the country. And my opinion, I'm traveling everywhere in the country. Everyone today is performing because they know that performance is the yardstick of this time. This nation is moving ahead.
I think I want to ask you more about, like, how was your journey like? How were your college days, and what inspired you to have...
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. That we come from a village known as Teri, and my great-grandfather was the Patel of Teri.
Okay.
Very rich, textile business, lands.
Oh, you had textile business then also?
Then, that time. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. I was not even born that time.
Okay.
Anyway, whatever it is. So my father, after he graduated, he got a job with the RAF, Royal Air Force, and he was posted in Bangalore in Sri Lanka in 1941.
Wow. Okay.
So they come from a very elite family. My great-grandfather, grandfather, father, they come from a very elite family. And, you know, just for a grandfather, when he was in the RAF, he used to send his suit to Paris for dry cleaning.
Wow.
They were very hard. But then, good times are not permanent, like bad times are not permanent. That's what our spiritual master told us. And on the night of that 47, Teri vanished from our life. It just evaporated. We didn't know what happened. It just went away. My grandfather, I met him a couple of times before he left this world. He told us he just could barely manage with him, his wife, and his small little family to cross the border with just the clothes they were wearing. That's it. Nothing. Not even a watch. That's it. My father, the elite here, 47, and they were little requesting him to come to London and settle down there and all, but he was a hardcore Indian behind his uniform. The hardcore Indian said no. So there became zero. Here became zero. They went through a very tough time. My father, very tough time. Finally, his children were also born here, were married and born. Took some menial jobs here and there, etc., everything. But one thing, he didn't compromise on that. He compromised on everything in his life. He didn't compromise was education of his children. Give me an opportunity to become an engineer.
So at that point, studying engineer is not like everyone's cup of tea.
Very
right?
difficult. Very difficult. In fact, there's no way I could get a seat in this engineering because the cutoff at that time was 96.6%.
At MS Ramaya.
Yeah, and my score was 85%. But I had this, the Karnataka government that introduced a scheme known as Son of Soil.
Okay.
I got this seat in MS Ramaya out of quota of Son and Soil, since I was born in Bangalore.
Okay.
So I finished my engineering and that kind of thing, right?
And that's where then how could you even visualize or think of going abroad, coming from the standard of, according to what
Very
you
difficult.
explained?
We went through a very difficult time. I remember.
Because currently when people are thinking in itself is like a huge challenge, and you're speaking about 1970, and for you to even clear an exam and think about an education abroad is not a very regular
It was
thing.
very difficult, and money was so difficult.
So how did you manage in
So
that
difficult.
period?
I was so fortunate. I'm talking when I went to Japan. I was so fortunate that I could get this scholarship. But I can tell you also the hardships there. For example, the food you wanted when you went for training, if you wanted to eat food, in Japan, The ground level restaurants are the most expensive.
Oh.
Level 1, underground, no? Go to any shopping center, level 1 is there. Are for normal people. Level 2 are for the working class.
Okay.
For example, you have miso soup, a bowl of miso soup. All the leftovers, vegetables, they shove it in that and give it to you. All the workers are coming in. I was having my food there every day when I was going on training. So we went through a very difficult process. But then it inculcated into you values.
But at that point, whoever left the country always somewhere chose to stay abroad but never come back. What brought you back to India?
I think a little of my dad's genes were in me. I can only say that. I can't tell you anything else. I was also fascinated by those beautiful environments and everything. But I had a little bit of my father's genes in me, that I need to go back to my country and I need to do something. And even now, even today, I'm trying to tell you, even today when I go for mobilization of students in various villages of India, all the villages of India, I've covered all the 30 districts of Karnataka, and all the villages I've been. At one village I went, Nandurbar in Maharashtra, very poor village. It took them 20 to 30 minutes in the village to find one chair for me to sit on. That is real India. What we are living, this is not real India. That is real India.
So is your dream to reach that real India?
I'm already deep into it. I'm not trying to reach it, I'm deep into it.
And is it that gives you the satisfaction?
Yes, I'm getting those. They're telling me that time when I go for mobilization, they tell me, sir, if we get one meal a day, we're so happy. I said, never mind. Keep that in your mind. Come now, let's go. They have no culture. They have no background. They don't know what to talk, what to do. They have no education. But once they come to us, week after week, see the face is changing. He's combing his hair properly, dressing up properly, talking to you well, conducting himself well. By the time he is at the fag end of his course, before he gets a job, he's an excellent human being.
So you're not feeding the person, but you're skilling them for the future of his complete life.
Excellent, ready to meet the challenges, ready to become number one in his life. We're telling all our students the same thing. There's only one place in your life, number one. Number two is gone, finished. I don't want to use a bad word, but he's gone.
So over the years of your experience, do you see there's a learning curve that's changing, or is it the same? What is the difference you have seen?
Well, I think, the most important thing is this quotient of happiness. I got this story from my spiritual master when I started the school. Mm-hmm. So what are you expecting? Because this is a jungle, not like this. So what are you expecting from here? I said, Swamiji, this is a school, so what am I expecting? Only good results. He said, you will only get it provided you have happiness. How will I do that? He said, make a concrete wall between academics and administration.
Wow.
See? Saints, how they visualize. Today, the principal, after so many, 30 years now in school, principal and all the teachers, they don't know anything from where money comes. This was broken, machine was broken, chair was broken, that was broken. They don't know who's doing it. They don't know the cost, they don't know who will do it, they just don't know. There's a concrete wall between this. They're only focused on academics. Their focus is how to make elite students from Anand Shiksha Kendra. Their only focus is to take people from zero background and get them to elite. You can imagine that if a student comes to me and tells me, sir, my salary is 1 crore rupees, I can't even express my joy. Such a great feeling. Or to go abroad and to factory like Nike or Adidas or anywhere, such big factories, they go and see our students performing. And that owner of the company or the MD of the company tells me that he's our superstar, he's our diamond.
What more do you want more than this?
That's it. It's such a great feeling. And that is my relaxation. I'm answering a question now. That is my joy. That is my relaxation. That is my, what shall I say? It's my best entertainment. That's my passion. And I am totally convinced that what objective was given to me by our Mahapurush, Narendra Modi, why India cannot become the clothier of the world. I can see it, that the end of the tunnel now.
You are the flag bearer of it, I'm sure.
I can see that then.
Wonderful.
Yes, I can see it coming. And very shortly you will see. Just for your kind information, this Center of Excellence, it's a training center. Basically, it's a training center, correct?
Yeah.
But the produce of this training center will go to elite society in Japan. I'm going this weekend to Japan, only to explore this story. Can we, in the training center, produce a product, maybe a shirt, or ladies' garment, or underwear, or whatever it is, that can reach the elite of Japan, which is, most quality conscious. That society is so educated and so informed, they know everything. Can we go there? If we can reach there, we've done a great job. So
you having a vision to even send your product there in itself, I think we have crossed that overstep.
yes, and if it succeeds, if this Center of Excellence succeeds here, I want to implement the Center of Excellence in Ahmedabad, in Surat, everywhere, in Mumbai.
Do you have any plans to set up in Bangalore also?
Bangalore is number 3. First one is in Tonica City. Second one is in Ahmedabad. Third is Bangalore. Fourth is Surat. Fifth
So your
is
mission is
Mumbai.
not going to stop. It's just going to spread all over the
Yes.
country.
Why should it stop?
It's like, okay, I will set up one excellence center and I will rest.
Yeah.
But that's not your
No,
mission.
not at all.
Okay.
And I can tell you one thing. I don't know if somebody asks me this question, who will continue this story? Nature will continue this. And the guy who takes over from me will do much, much better than me.
It's quite
Right?
interesting, the vision
Yes.
you have. And
No, because my spiritual master told me, हर अच्छे काम के पीछे कुदरत का हाथ होता है.
I think when your intentions are so pure, the universe will just take care of it.
God's grace. God's grace. I'm so grateful to God. Every day in the morning, I pray to Him that to give me that strength to continue my seva. This is my seva. I want to continue this.
Wow. It's
I'm very-
wonderful to listen to you, sir.
It is such a pleasure. And please pray for us
Oh, definitely.
that God gives us the strength and the courage.
People like you need to definitely spread this word just by
move in
being the
this.
flag bearer.
Definitely. And I have a lot of confidence that there are a lot of good people in this country. A lot of good people in the country. They just need to be sparked. Jyot, is lying there. Somebody has to just go and light it. And it will spread that light,
You
that
can't hold the
confidence.
lightness, it just spreads.
Everywhere. Where this Center of Excellence is ready, I think whenever you have an opportunity, you should come and see it with your own eyes.
Definitely, sir. I'm
Yeah.
very much
Come and see it
interested.
yourself. I'm going to invite the Honorable Prime Minister is going to inaugurate the Center of Excellence, and we want everybody to see and give their suggestions and their ideas, because this is not something coming out of one brain or one idea. No, not at all. Today, this Center of Excellence is a part of the Indian apparel industry. Every guy who visits there, even the topmost says, "ये तो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहा है, इसके साथ ये भी करो, ये कर रहा है, इससे बात." So many ideas. Everybody is involved in one common
It's not just one institute, it's
No.
the industry. put
industry.
together.
Everybody has to be involved in this. That's my idea. Everybody is involved. Why? This is for the nation. No single person or single company can take credit for this. No. This is our national monument. It is for the nation.
Wow. It's absolute treat to even listen to that, sir. In 1970, when you started, you were one among the few pioneers, and over the decades, you have seen the growth. So, 10 years from now or 20 years from now, where do you see your industry and where do you see the skilled people we are training right now?
The growth of this industry, I'm talking about the garment, when I say garment, knitwear, etc., is unlimited in this country. Nobody can contain it.
Okay.
Nobody can restrict it. Why? because we have all the parameters intact, right? You see our government is so dynamic now, they are supporting. There's enough land available. The concept before was, I'll put up this factory in Bangalore and what do you call, every day from Hosadurga buses will go and come. No. Today the concept is destroyed. Today is that we want to put this factory in Hosadurga. People should be able to walk. I give a beautiful example about this. A student of ours, passed, worked 3 years in the industry.
Okay.
3 years he worked, acquired all the knowledge. I told him, don't touch business now. Worked 3 years. Worked, acquired all the knowledge. Finally went back to his village and set up a factory there. I negotiated with SIDBI, small industry bank, got him a loan. It's a factory with 100 machines. Right? Today, in that factory, 200 people are working. In the village. Majority of them don't even have a cycle. Means they can just walk from their hut, their homes. Everybody walking early in the morning. And they're working 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours. Where they could not make even 500 rupees in a month. Today, everybody is carrying home at least 20,000 rupees a month.
That's so satisfying to even imagine.
Beautiful, I tell you. So, what I'm trying to say is, once you have sown that seed of success, it will automatically breed another success. You don't have to do anything about it. This student, when he studied here, he must have imbibed those cultures which I imbibed when I went to Japan. And then he, after acquiring all that knowledge and performing in the industry, decided, no, I have to go back to my village. Like I decided that I have to go back to my country, he's better than me. He decided that he wants to go back to his village and set up a factory there and give employment to 200 people who have not even seen a machine before in their life. They have not even seen a machine.
Do you feel the purpose of your life is so fulfilled when you hear such stories?
I think that's the greatest gift of God. I don't think any other gift, if I had got a Mercedes-Benz tomorrow or something, would have given me this kind of happiness that this gives. The joy and happiness is simply amazing. Simply amazing. And for your kind information, I wanted to share a secret with you. In the center of employment, center of excellence, there, we were taking people from the street with all zeros, right? And after giving them the requisite training and perform, we want them to target to earn at least 50,000 rupees a month. And if it can be done, then this message will automatically go to the industry.
That's true. You don't have to market it.
No need. This is why everything is there, it's happening. Everyone can see it.
So what is your vision if you look forward for maybe 10 years from now?
I think India must and should become the clothier of the world. And this industry of ours will generate the highest employment, more than agriculture.
Wow.
Because this will always remain a labor-intensive industry. In this industry, whatever you do, one man is required to drive one machine. You can't have 3 machines and one man driving it.
Okay.
So the labor content will never go down. Which means what?
Always
Opportunities for hundreds and thousands and millions.
And you see a shining side to India with this industry growing, or how is it going to be proportionately?
Well, I'm already seeing it now. In Europe, I'm traveling very extensively. In the United States, they're all focused on India now. They want to buy from India. Why? Our Prime Minister has established a level of comfort in this country today. Everybody wants to come to India. What is the missing link? Is this one word, efficiency. If we can somehow imbibe that efficiency, operate at efficient levels, and be able to compete in the world, we can do wonders.
Wonderful, sir. Hopefully your vision turns into reality and we see on the global market India being the clothing hub for the world's needs.
God's grace and kindness.
Thank you for your time.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure.
An individual with personal commitment and a vision towards country gives such immense results, which shows not just as an organization or as a training institute, but an overall addition to country's growth. Let this continue to inspire and show it in your work. Thank you very much.